All right, welcome in here to the Average Joe's Sim Racing League. We're starting a little late. Sorry about that. Little broadcast issue. We're under our first caution. A few laps in. We'll catch you up as we can and show you what you missed. Welcome in Derek Watson live in the broadcast booth. Christian Hill pushing the buttons behind the scenes as we are under caution number 1. Here we are, lap 5 is where we are currently. Welcome in, everyone. Glad to see you here along with us. Sorry for the little bit of late start. I said throughout the night we'll catch you up on what you missed. This is what caused the caution. We're under right now. Looking 3 wide, a little bit of tap to that number 45 of Austin Guerrero. Send him around, and around he went. And I think he's going to avoid the wall. Oh, lock the brakes. Oh, boy, I thought maybe he was going to say it. That's going to be likely day ending or racing. And watch on board as kind of drifts up a little bit, catches the back end of that autism awareness paint scheme, that beautiful puzzle piece looking machine, and around he went. Well, welcome into the broadcast booth. Sorry for a little bit of late start. As you see the back of the Capcom logo on the back of this car we're riding along with. Catch you up on what you missed. Highlights here so far. Jonathan Dominic did put his car on the King right up on P2. So there is your front runners. In fact, now Tyler Smith has assumed the lead pretty early in this race. He started up in P4. So only a few spots he's had to move here in this moment. Well, thanks so much for hanging out here live on Green Flag TV. Thanks for being patient with us and hanging out in the YouTube chat. We'll get you guys a great show for the rest of the evening. Couple new formats this week for the Average Joe's. Only one big rule change that matters for the main race. There is no more heat racing. You qualified in on time or you did not make it at all. So one car went home. Dallas Hall, went home. There's your track conditions. 90 degrees Fahrenheit on the track, 11:02 a.m. virtual sim time here at Michigan. A much cooler track we've seen the first couple weeks. The admins have decided to tone down the track temps. They have understood maybe that'll help the racing a little bit. It'll kind of make it more fun, more grip, a little less dangerous as the day goes on. Here we go. This, of course, is the third race of the season. You see the lights on the pace car should go out this time. 1 to go. There's a long pace lap, so we got a moment here. We can kind of catch you up and make you aware of everything that's happening. You see the timing tower up on the top left of your screen, so you can see our top 10 here. Smith, Wright, Dominics, Matthews, Harrington, Weaver, Chase, Revel, Murphy, and Larry Blair, your top 10. Well, this league has had a big focus on the admin side, talking to the drivers this week. Had a couple of town halls, talk with the drivers, really wanted to focus on maybe cleaning up this racing. They were not thrilled with the number of cautions in last week's race, so that's been a focus. This league did a practice race Monday night, let the drivers get some track time, half length. We're running 90 laps tonight. They went 45 on Monday. A single caution in Monday's race is what they achieved, so they're hoping for similar results here as the night goes on. By the way, Austin Guerrero now 2 laps down. Kevin Burns 3 laps down, by the way, so Kevin Burns also having a hard time. But despite that meatball flag, that damage that Guerrero needed to fix, he is back on track. So he's hoping to pick up some laps as the night goes on. We're happy you're with us here live on Green Flag TV. Happy you could join us here on this Thursday evening for the Average Joe's Sim Racing League. And we'll get around to our sponsors and everything in a little bit. But first, let's go Green Flag Racing. Let's enjoy the sights and sounds of Michigan as right about now, the green flag falls for the field. Here now down the back straight. Tyler Smith's going to lead the field. Dominic's back up to second. You see the move on the bottom by Ricari King right. Airline Pilot is now trying to go ahead and get his way around in the P2. Has done that successfully. Now wants to try to race down Tyler Smith. He's got Michael Harrington Coming up from behind, Harrington wants to make the move as a car, and King Wright got really close to the back end. And man, him and Tyler Smith racing all the way down the hill, all the way back up the hill. A little bit of bump, a little bit of beating. We're still green flag racing, and car, King Wright's working the bottom of this track, down to the yellow line. Not the line you typically see. Most drivers want to be up top. King Wright has chosen the bottom. King Wright goes ahead and pulls himself in line. And now he's going to get under attack from Michael Harrington. Harrington should try the same move. Harrington says, hey, that worked. Let's try it out. So Harrington on the bottom, King Wright on the top. Then back behind him is Fred Chase, Jonathan Dominic, same kind of battle. So here we are 2 by 2 with Tyler Smith up front. Tyler Smith kind of gets to pick a little bit of what car he wants to battle, because that draft he's going to give to the car he's in front of will slightly affect this battle on back. Back in behind for 4th place. That Fred Chase car has went ahead and pulled up the lane, single file, but looking all the way back to the field. Different drivers moving around, trying to find the groove here on lap number 10. Ooh, King Wright up in the wall, by the way. He's up in the wall, and now he's going to get passed for 2nd, 3rd, 4th. We had contact between Chase and Wright, but they've got it worked out right in the wall again. Wright's going to go ahead and get himself calmed down, going to get that focus back in. Still getting passes are now multi-car wide, 4 wide. Thought they maybe were going to try and push it 5, but 4 is the limit for now. Is now car and King Wright still under attack. Is now he's seen that Josh Bevel, Terrence Murphy, and more have him in their sights. Boy, King Wright is still having a hard time with this race car. You see him up in the wall every time by, and that means more and more every car is going to keep passing on by. Now you see Blake Ward's gotten by, Josh Rebel's gotten by. So King Wright falling down the field quickly. May have picked up some damage that may be affecting the aerodynamics of that car. We'll take a look and see, but he's 3 wide again. This is going to be, oh boy, that's the 87 in the middle. There's now the 2 car behind him, and King Wright is falling back through the field. This is where the action is. Up ahead, it's almost single file, but King Wright cannot seem to find a moment of peace, not a moment to breathe, as he is stuck in the field. You see a car went ahead and pulled out and got to the back of the field. So some different drivers maybe not getting comfortable with the way this race is going. They want to give themselves some space in case the unthinkable happens. See how that moves lap by lap, corner by corner. The names are moving up and down the leaderboard as different passes happen. They're 4 wide again down the back straight. And let's see if they sort this out. They're back to 3 wide. That's about the most I'd want to go through a corner at Michigan. 4 wide gets awfully sketchy. Now back here it's the 29, it's the 81 battling side by side. This is happening right back to front. This is Tyler Smith. He's trying to hold the lead. He's now got a pass on the outside happening, possibly by Michael Harrington. Harrington, remember, won last week's race in Vegas, won that shootout at the end, and did a great job in doing so. Now this week in a different paint scheme, in that Budweiser paint scheme, he would love to get the pass here early. Oh, a bump to the back. Go ahead and gives that highline car, Tyler Smith, a bump. Gives him a little push. Question is, did he do it for the bump draft reasons, or did he do it to kind of unsettle Tyler Smith? That's what we'll wait as the night goes on and find out here. That 1 to Tyler Smith is up top. The Harrington machine. That 6 is on the bottom. They're door to door. They're touching. I think they're going to be okay. No big moments here. They're going to touch again as Harrington and Smith both drive that car up the hill. Remember, these corners banked about 18 degrees. Not much banking, all things considered, compared to other tracks we visit. You will see drivers lifting in the corners as the night goes on. And right now, yellow's out. Caution number 2. Tyler Smith will hold the lead when the yellow comes out. And there's your 48. Stopped at the bottom. Maybe avoided the wall. That's Justin McCurdy, that Ally machine. And no, it's definitely crinkled. So let's see. We're being told it's going to be between the 48 and the 101. Possibly will be where our caution comes out. So we'll wait a minute. We'll spool up that replay and we'll look live and see what happened. Obviously damaged here, so we're assuming he probably got the worst for the wear in this wreck. He'll need to come around and get down on pit road once the pit road's open and get those damages fixed. And he's going to go in right now and begin working on the repairs. Here's the replay. Let's take a look what happens. Back to the field. There's a 48 on the bottom. There's Austin Guerrero up top. See if he avoids this wreck. 48 still on the bottom. Wait for this out of turns 1 and 2. Oh boy, that car got loose. That car snapped loose. My goodness. Ooh, buddy. That is a wild ride for the 101. That's Justin Day. Came down and clobbered the 48. So the 48 does avoid the wall. The damage he has is going to be from just getting just like hip checked basically by Justin Day. Watch it again here. There's going to be Guerrero on behind. There's the 69 in the middle. What happens here? Does the 101 just get loose? Yeah, just wiggled it loose and poof, the 48 had no idea. Let's go and take a look at pit road here and see who's coming down pit road. Lots of drivers down right here. So almost the full field down pit road. I think every car I can find on the lead lap in timing and scoring is down. So this will be a race off of pit road. Right now, it looks like Michael Harrington will beat off Blake Ward, Michael Weaver, Tyler Smith, and Terrence Murphy for your top 5. By the way, for those in the crowd who are Austin Guerrero fans, the number 45 machine, Austin is the lucky dog. So he will go ahead and get the free pass. He'll go from 2 laps down to 1 lap down. He will have to start at the back end of the field, but here you see that battle off of pit road continuing as we move on. Well, since we started the broadcast a little late, we probably need to go ahead once again and thank tonight's sponsor of this race. And that would be... Sorry, 1 second here. Blair's Auto Cleaning 180s, that sponsored tonight's race. You can experience the ultimate in vehicle care with Blair's Auto Cleaning, where we transform your car into a pristine masterpiece. Our expert team utilizes top-of-the-line products and techniques to provide comprehensive detailing services, from meticulous interior cleaning to flawless exterior polishing. Enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our commitment to quality and customer satisfaction, ensuring your vehicle looks and feels brand new. Look us up on Facebook and trust Blair's Auto Cleaning to enhance your driving experience and protect your investment. Book your appointment today at Blair's Auto Cleaning. So do want to thank Blair's Auto Cleaning for stepping up and sponsoring tonight's race. We're making round 3 of the Average Joe's Sim Racing League here live at Michigan International Speedway. We're working our second caution on lap 18, so just about on pace for 1 every 10 laps so far, and I'm sure that'll get cleaned up as more drivers get comfortable with the track. Here's our second logo for Blair's Auto Cleaning. Get that new car look again. And boy, I'll tell you, there's nothing great as much as getting a new car look or a new car smell. So hopefully they can help you with both. Well, here we are, double file at the track, coming into turns 3 and 4. Lights on the pace car are off. And so we've talked about this top 5. Harrington, Ward, Weaver, Smith, and Murphy, your top 5. Blake Ward's up here in P2. That's an interesting story because he's had a rough couple of weeks. Did not qualify for Daytona. And then a very, very early exit last week for race number 2. So this is definitely the first signs of success for Blake Ward up in P2. He'll have the challenge of starting on the outside. Right now it's going to be in the hands of Blake Ward once you get the restart zone, and green flag is out. We are back racing in Michigan. Harrington right there up front has the run. The 2 car is trying to make a move on the bottom. He's moving right along. You see Tyler Smith's back there. 45 at Chase is back there. So the 64 Chase is back there. So lots of drivers trying to make a run. Here's Blake Ward up to the outside, trying to make the pass happen. Remember, Ward is up 8 spots on the evening, but right now Michael Weaver is trying to get up here and stay ahead in P2. coming down through turns 1 and 2. Almost offset, 3 wide. Smith, Weaver, Ward. They got Chase on back behind them. Then Terrence Murphy is down. Larry Blair is up. And then Jonathan Dominic, Corey Moore, and others here involved in this battle. Oh, look at the 5. Just dove it in there on the bottom of Tyler Smith. Now he wants to try and make the move. See if he can make a stick. Oh, contact. Oh, boy. We've seen that move a few times. It feels like Tyler Smith is always... Oh, there it is. There's the spin. Sounds like we've seen that move with a body check a few times. It always works successfully, but for that time for Tyler Smith, not so successfully as Tyler Smith. I did avoid pit road after that spin. Under caution once again here. This will be the 3rd time tonight, working lap 21. So Tyler Smith, unfortunately, will go to the back end of the field. Also of note, and Austin Guerrero once again free pass. The fans of the 45 will know that the 45 is now back on the lead lap after that contact in the beginning of the race. Here's me to look again. Watch this. Here's me the 6 Budweiser car up here. And we're going to move. Here's the move we're looking for right here. That's the one. That's Tyler Smith. There's your first contact. We were okay right here. That's Blake Ward up top, by the way. He's going to be safe in this incident. There was your first contact. Now the slow-mo kicks in just about any second now. Ward's going to kind of come down. Smith's going to come down. And Smith actually is going to clear himself across the nose of the car in the bottom. I thought for sure maybe there was contact again, but instead Smith comes down and gets on the front hood of that car. You see him tearing up the grass there. Lots of damage. The groundskeeper not happy, I'm sure. And he avoids the wall, avoids pit road. That would have been an unsafe pit entrance penalty had he touched pit road. He avoids that, so he'll just be at the back of the field. Well, let's do this. Let's find out directly from the driver maybe what happened or what his perspective is. Let's go ahead and chat with Tyler Smith, the driver of the one machine involved in our 3rd caution of the night. Tyler, some good tight racing there. Feels like you've been the victim of a couple body checks tonight and just didn't go well.
Yeah, I've been doored a couple of times, but also if you hear my kids crying, I apologize. I feel like I've been doored a couple of times. I don't think anything malicious. On that spin, I don't think he knew that I had a guy. I probably was clear. I could have slid up, but I was trying to make a move on the guy in front of me. And I think the guy below me thought that I had room to slide up. So it was just a racing incident. It's unfortunate. I am now at the back, which is where I was last week when I got caught up in everything and was DQ'd. So yeah, we're just going to try and stay alive, I guess.
Hope it goes better for you with that Highline Racing machine. We're going to lap 21. We'll see if we can get you back up front. Good luck the rest of the night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that's Tyler Smith. Says he just doesn't think everyone was aware of the 3 wide racing that was happening. And so, unfortunately for him, the contact, he'll come in here, possibly get some new tires, get any damage fix that needs done, and he'll be at the back of the field as he said. Well, there's Blake Ward in 82. He was up top. His car came out fine for any close contact, or close to contact, I should say, but went ahead and got himself okay. Well, when we have a minute, let's go ahead and maybe recap some information that we showed you was not being the broadcast. Let's go take a look at the schedule for the season, the Average Joe's Sim Racing League. So we've been to Daytona, we've been to Vegas, now we're at Michigan. Next week is Auto Club, a track that no longer exists. Then we go Bristol, Rockingham, and Dover for a 3-week span, where the longest track would be a mile. Then July 17th, Talladega Super Speedway. That kicks off the end of the first half of the schedule. We go Phoenix, the Glen, Pocono, Richmond, Atlanta, Darlington, Chicagoland, and Homestead for the finale. So a great schedule up ahead here for the Average Joe's Sim Racing League. Glad you're here with us live on Green Flag TV. And I'm excited to see how this schedule plays out for these drivers. Well, lights on the pace car are out, so we are going to go green flag racing this time by. And race control is handing out their rulings about this incident. And we'll wait and see if any additional penalties need to be handed out. Race control is talking to the drivers, reminding them just be patient, be calm, have awareness. When you're 3 wide, it's not always easy to do. But there we go. Well, once again, we make this long lap around. It's about 1:41 seconds roughly under pacing. We'll come around here once again. And this time by top 5, Fred Chase, Blake Ward, Jonathan Dominics, Larry Blair II, and Terrence Murphy, your top 5. So the first time tonight. Actually, Chase is not up front. Sorry, I'm confusing on my own story. There was different cars up front here. And at this moment, we've got 2 cars ahead of Chase. Pace car is down. That Budweiser machine is going to lead us around. Green flag is out. We're back green racing at Michigan. We are going full throttle. Remember, this track is big. It is 2 miles. It is not a full throttle racetrack. These drivers will have to maybe run this first lap full throttle, get these cars back up to speed. But this is not a super speedway. These drivers are lifting. They are trail braking to get those cars rotated the way they want them to. But what's happening right now is the leader's already pulling away. Look at that gap right there from first to second. And a great job by your leader. Big racing back to the field. 2, 3 wide racing. Everyone's tucked in together here by only a couple seconds apart on this racetrack. This here, Blake Ward's going to try and make it 3 wide up top. We saw that move happen before. Didn't finish great for everybody, but here's Michael Harrington leading, Fred Chase in second, Dominic's in third, Weaver's in fourth, Blake Ward's in P5. That's the battle we're watching, 5, 6, and 7 here on your screen. Ward's P5 up top, and you got P6 on the bottom. You got Larry and Blair the second behind. You got 3 wide racing happening. You got cars pulling up in the way. And a big recipe for disaster. There's a car 18 right, by the way. Saw him fall back early. He's now running the apron here. He's trying to get back in the picture in P7. Lots of cars moving up and down the field here as we're working lap 27. Down the back straight, side by side. That's going to be Murphy and Weaver right there, right in the middle of your screen. That chrome car digs to the bottom. Great job here. Just going to try and maybe now make that slide job work on the 2, and does. Successfully makes the pass, gets up in front, and it's now Murphy ahead of Weaver. Word of the night is patience. That's what we've been preaching all week to the drivers. Talking about patience, talking about reducing the number of cautions, talking about making better decisions on the racetrack. And this is not the track that you can have a lot of patience. This big draft package that we run at Michigan says you have to be involved. You're going to fall back pretty quickly for the most part here. So we're now looking on back through the field, see there 2, 3 wide at different points around the corners. This is your leader. That is it. It's only a 1/10 of a second. It looks bigger because of the size of the track, but wow. So that's the look from fourth on back, I believe what that was. That was Terrence Murphy looking back at Michael Weaver. So different battles. Here's Fred Chase. Now he's trying to run down and chase Michael Harrington. That black and green 94 machine wants if he can make the move. Behind him, by the way, is now Jonathan Dominics up top in that black and red machine. Terrence Murphy. Murphy's been really, in some ways, the star of the show. Maybe not winning everything, but definitely fast. He's been the driver who's qualified well for a couple of weeks. Has really put up fast pace. Was the topic of conversation this week amongst the Discord for the Average Joe Sim Racing League. And to contact again, my goodness. 5 got loose. The 5 wiggled that back end. It got all sorts of sideways, but everybody saved it. And the apology comes from 49 and 5. That black and red machine, very Canadian. It's got the maple leaf on the front. It's got Tim Hortons on the side. So very much shows you the Canadian heritage of this driver in the 49 machine due to the colors, the leaf, the Tim Hortons. Sort of like, I don't know, some maple syrup or some, you know, some, I don't know what else, maybe some poutine, I guess. I don't know what else you could put in that car to make it any more Canadian. Now back up front, there's the pass lead. Chase on around. Chase is now going to pass Michael Harrington. Remember, Harrington won last week. Won at Vegas, but right now runs P2. He's got a strong battle behind him. As Murphy, I thought was going to come right across the front of Dominic's, but somehow threads the needle and is trying to make the pass and trying to stay in contention with Harrington. Makes the pass up the hill, almost hits the wall, but the pass is complete. Say hello to everyone up in the YouTube chat. Joel Richards, Shelby Guerrero, Jen Richards, Scott Kaysen, Dark677, everyone hanging out in the YouTube chat. Thank you for being a part of our live chat here as we watch this league race. And boy, looking at back there, scattering like cockroaches back in the field. There's movement everywhere. Nowhere is safe. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is Chase, Harrington, Murphy, and Dominic. Behind them is a bit of a gap before P5. That's Akari King right now leading that group. He's now got Andrew Davis behind him, Samuel Reed, M. Brian Matthews, and Todd Ingersoll Jr. Some new names to the front of this field tonight as they're now trying to catch the leaders. They all need to get behind in line if they want to. Use that draft, use Akari King right, and catch this group. They're about a second off of the top 4. So you need, again, there's that word patience. Says, whoa, the 56 didn't have it. Almost got in the back of the 29. That would have been a bad moment there for both drivers. See Andrew Davis there in the 29. Oh, Kevin Harvick paint scheme for the 2001 season. Kevin Harvick took over the car back in Atlanta. Below him is M. Brian Matthews in that 81. Matthews wants to try and make the move happen here, wants to try and make the pass, digs it to the bottom, and followed a King Wright, but King Wright's going to be safe from no one beside him, but Matthews not going to make the pass, going to hold up both drivers. Now there's a bit of a gap between Davis and Akari King Wright. Now working lap 35, getting closer and closer to the halfway point of this race. Now remember, green or yellow, more pit stops still to come. We're not done with that part of the race. Those will play a big impact on tonight's race. Getting on the pit road easily is not easy here. Not sliding your box is a big factor. These pit stalls are slick. It's easy to slide a box here, easy to lose some time. Easy to try and make the pass for lead as Terrence Murphy does right there. He led this lap right to the inside of Fred Chase. It's now Chase behind Murphy, but ahead of Harrington at the beginning of lap 36. Look at the line here now. Hold on, caution's out. Come back to this battle in a bit once we solve this caution. Find out what happened and where it happened. And there's our hint. Russell Heaton Jr., the number 60 in that fast and all machine, down on the back straight. So we now know who's involved. We'll now have to see why he's involved in just a moment. This will be caution number 4 on the night. And we're going to have a repeat offender for the cause of this caution. We're being told now, instead of end of line penalty, that the driver deemed at fault for this caution line will receive a drive-through penalty for causing this wreck. So let's wait and see what happens here. Take a moment. Oh boy, look, he's got some major damage to that car. Look at that thing wiggle back and forth. That's got to be mishandling inside that car. That cannot be fun. He's gonna come down pit road right now. and start on the repairs. Well, that thing is just unstable as all could be. Okay, let's go and take a look at the replay and see what's going to happen here. There is Russell on the middle of your screen. He's got the 2 in front of him. And all seems good. A little bit of wall tap. The 24 is going to make the contact. Boy, oh boy. I am interested to see how AJSRL is going to deem this because to me, that's on the 60 for getting loose. I don't know how you blame anybody else for what happened there. Let's watch it from a different point of view possibly, see what we can find. Watch up front, that's heating up, getting up into the wall. Comes down, nothing the 24 could do. No idea what's coming. And while the 60 got some damage, you saw a big wobble out of the 24. So likely some damage to that car as well. Down pit road, there's the 24. There's 40 of the Travis Hunt, and that Tabula Rasa Esports machine right in front of him. Other cars down pit road this time by a few of them came down. Actually, all of them, I believe, came down this time by. See the rest of the race off the pit road here. Once again, hanging out on here with us at Green Flag TV, and a car in King Right is now up towards the front of this field. So for a driver who had some issues early, scrubbed the wall and got towards the back of the middle of the field, and a great recovery. But Russell Heaton Jr. is going to be deemed at fault for that incident, and being told that he had, I guess, his second incident of the night, he will serve a drive-through penalty for having the second incident of the night. This is a car in King Right. He's up in P2, and now it has just one car to pass if he wants to make the move here. Well, let's do this. I know we're 1 degree, and we are getting closer and closer to the moments of going back racing here. See if we can find. Maybe we cannot. But the next caution, we'll talk to the 24 so we can get a perspective from his side of what happened in that wreck. Actually, let's try and do it right now. It's Richard Wilson. Let's do this really quickly here. Richard Wilson, welcome to the Green Flag TV broadcast booth. I know we're 1 to green. Just real quick, what was your perspective of that incident between you and Russell Heaton? Not available for comment. Okay, fair enough. Well, we will go back to racing in just a moment here. So again, look at the field. It's going to be Chase. It's going to be a car at King Right, and others on back. Getting closer and closer to the halfway point. We'll go green on lap 40. So remember, 90 laps total. The field's in the hands of Fred Chase. He's going to go ahead and lead us around those blue markings at the bottom. The Geico restart zone is when the leader can go. Green flag is out. We're back green, racing in the hills of Michigan. Look at him now, didn't take long. The 3 wide down the back. That's a car right up top. That's Chase in the middle. That I believe to be Terrence Murphy on the bottom, almost 4 wide at one point. And they're back to 3. Murphy's now 2 wide for the lead. He's got Fred Chase up above. He's got McCarry right and others behind. There's also smoke in the back, and there's a caution. Oh, big wreck in the back. See in the back of that camera shot there towards the top of the wall. We'll wait and see who all is involved. See a couple wrecked cars, some on the top, some on the bottom. So likely a big wreck here. take a look and figure out what may happen at caution. Be told maybe a connection problem may have been involved with one of the drivers that may make this replay a little difficult to catch. We'll wait and see if we can. Working now caution number 5 here at Michigan. Let's see what we can find here. We'll watch the middle of the field. The car running slow in the middle. Oh, look up front. There it is. I mean, the 20 car, I believe, who's going to cause that incident. And oh, they just keeps forming, keeps moving up the hill. That's Josh Rebel in the 20. And then other cars, and now he's going to come down. It's going to come across almost in front of Bridger Webb. Webb avoids it, goes through the grass. There's Austin Guerrero on the bottom of the puzzle piece car. He's going to be okay. Yep, as is everybody else. All right, the 20 car is the car being named at fault for the wreck. Not a surprise after watching the replay. He will go to the end of the line. Let's see if we can find a different replay. Let's watch what happens. The 20 is up in the wall right about here, getting passed rapidly. Yeah, he just comes off the wall and maybe did not check the mirrors. And that's what happens. Oh boy. Right there in that moment. That was scary. Well, let's do this. We tried to interview on our last break. Didn't go well. Let's try a different one and see if we can have better luck here. Let's talk to our leader. For the first time this season, Fred Chase is leading in the Average Joe's Sim Racing League. Fred, how's it feel up front?
Hey man, what's going on? Just trying to stay out of trouble up here.
Now, you're not leading right now. Looks like maybe right before the caution you got passed by Murphy. You've had a lot of fun leading some laps tonight. Lots of good battles. What do you think the key of this race is going to be for the next 50 laps or so?
I would say just flipping it from trying to stay on offense and being up front when the time counts.
Okay. Well, we'll give you a second here to promote yourself. You want to say hello to any teammates, any friends, any family you want to shout out to on the broadcast?
Yeah, thanks, man.
You're very welcome. That's Fred Chase, number 14. We'll put him back with his Highline Racing teammate and give him that moment there. One moment here. Right, give me just a second. We're going to get him back here. Now we're going to get him relaxed under caution, as we said. Unfortunately, Chase no longer leading. That now belongs to Terrence Murphy. Then we'll see the field on back of Card King Rights up back to P3. Different drivers up through the front of this field. And Brian Matthews is up there, Todd Ingersoll Jr., Jonathan Dominic still hanging out, Blake Ward's up there, Larry Blair's up in the top 10, so a really solid race for a lot of drivers. And luckily so far, we've seen some wrecks, unfortunately, but none of them have really been the kind of massive explosions maybe you would have expected at Michigan. This last wreck maybe is a close example. 3 or 4 cars involved. Pace car lights are out. We're going to go green this time. By this time, it's Terrence Murphy leading the field. He's going to go ahead and control the restart. When those blue Geico restart emblems appear on the bottom of the track, he can press that gas pedal and go whenever he once. Lap 44 begins this time as we go green flag racing once again. Boy, look at the jump, the leader. God, that's an impressive jump. Now puts King Wright, Chase, and others here up in the battle. The 3 wide running close for P4. They locally sorted that out. So I thought that was going to end really badly, really quickly, but it worked itself out here. You come to the back straight now, 2, 3, almost 4 wide. Lots of leaving, lots of swerving, lots of anger in the voice chat, but everything's going to work itself out for the moment, I do believe. Harrington now is going to come on through and try to make that pass on the bottom as they're now 2-3 wide again. No, boy, that barely worked itself out. That PBR car in the bottom started him up the hill, and luckily worked everything out. Boy, there's lots of beating, lots of big, and all across this track. This drafting style racetrack is leading to a little bit of a need for a contact at times, and these drivers are all having a very hard time. There's more contact. Oh, that T-Mobile car got shot up the track, avoided a wall. That's a great job by Daniel Jackson, now running P9 in that number 18 car. For sure thought Jackson was going to make contact with the wall. Avoids it. Now up in the drafting line, trying to get a draft here. Getting past on the bottom is Jackson. Jackson now back down to P10. He's got Samuel Reed around him, Andrew Davis in front of him, Corey Moore behind him, Larry Blair is behind him, and lots going on. Now here we are, working in lap 47, more than halfway through the race. Daniel Jackson makes the move up top, cannot complete the pass, trying to get around this black and blue car. Trying to make the pass is Daniel Jackson. This is battle for 10th. You see, that's the pink car in 10th. That's 9th, 8th, 7th ahead of him, and 11th on back on behind. Mostly single file racing for the moment. Lap 47. Oh, some contact behind. That was close. There's Travis Hunt coming to the bottom. Hunt last week ran that M&M's machine in honor of Kyle Busch. A favorite driver this week has moved over to a team paint. So that black and blue, that almost Logitech electric blue, is a new look for him. Jackson now all over the back end of that M&M car, all over the back end of the 38, trying to make something happen, trying to get in there, trying to get to the back of Todd Ingersoll Jr., trying to see what he can make happen. Back up front though, Michael Harrington running in P4. He's got a car king right up ahead of him. He's got the Canadian car of Jonathan Dominic to his outside, and they are trying to run down Terrence Murphy. Remember, Murphy pulled away on the restart and had, you see that gap just in the front of your screen there. That's what these drivers are trying to work out. King Wright's running the top of the track, trying his best to get up here and make things happen. But now he's going to get passed by both cars on the inside, both Dominic's and Harrington, trying to gain up time on the bottom of this racetrack. There goes Harrington. He's going to be the best candidate to make the pass. He's clear of Dominic's. Now when he was ready, he can start to make that trip up the hill. He does it successfully. And now he has taken over P2. Remember, most of these cars pitted about 10 laps ago. And so we're working on a little bit of time before pit road happens, but not very long. We'll just wait to see if we stay green when those stops happen. Here is Andrew Davis. He's now behind a car King Wright. King Wright now goes to the bottom. He's going to try and make that pass. That does seem to be the line today. The top lane may be better for tire wear long term, but that bottom lane is where you can make your pass. Get down there, you make the pass, you slide back up, use that momentum. King did not do it correctly, and now Andrew Davis makes a big run on the outside. It's a little bit of drafting help up ahead. Is now going to pass or attempt to pass a car King Wright on the outside here at Michigan. Remember this beautiful racetrack built back in 1968. A lot of history here. Lots of different races have happened. We've seen NASCAR race here. We saw the old IROC races happen here. One of the last instances of a Dale Earnhardt win happened in Michigan in the IROC race, where he raced next door to door with Dale Jr. back to the line. Blake Ward now back in the 82 machine running P4. We documented earlier his troubles in this league so far this season. So for him, a P4 would be an amazing run. He stops right here. He'd love the win, but a P4 would definitely be better than his first 2 weeks of racing. So it's Murphy, Harrington, Dominic's, Ward, and Davis, your top 5. Now working lap by lap by lap here with 39 to go. So the laps have started to count down. As driver now it switches. Now instead of counting up the laps, you're counting down. Now time will begin to move faster as a driver. If you're Blake Ward, if you're Harrington, if you're Dominic, if you're Davis, Reed, anyone else, now time is fading quickly. Now time is going to move faster than you want. You're going to think you don't have every chance to make up the gaps you need to make here. Let's go back into P15 for a second. This is John Sheen back here in the battle of P15, P16. Look at that big traffic jam back there. That's lots of traffic. That Sheen in that black, white, and red machine. He's got Brian Cook ahead of him. He's got Jay Rush behind him, Daniel Jackson, Austin Norris, and Brian Matthews all back there. So lots going on up and down the field. See back here, it's a little bit more settled for the most part. Maybe a little less action. Maybe drivers who've kind of found a groove they want to run. Sheen though running the middle groove of the track. Not a common occurrence, I would say, but one he's decided to go ahead and take on here. Doug Ivy's up here in P12, the number 55 machine. And he's now trying to avoid getting passed by the 2, while also still trying to run down the car ahead of him. That's Larry Blair, the second up ahead of him. And that is Chase on behind. Remember, Chase is someone who we saw back in P2 not too long ago. So Chase having a bit of a fall back through the field. See what he can make of it the rest of this race. Now 36 to go. Laps are counting down as Doug Ivy almost up in the wall. Almost got rain up in the wall there. But all turned out well. So as this race goes, screen, it goes on, you'll see different packs separated by a second or two in time. Behind this pack, where Doug Ivy just scrubbed the wall right in front of Travis Hunt, you'll see another pack forming behind them. And boy, oh boy, cars are starting to wiggle. Cars are starting to move all around. That tells me that as we're now past noon, virtual sim time, that the track temp may be rising, meaning that track's getting a little bit more slick, a little more loose, a little less grip. As we saw some contact there to the out inside of Fred Chase from that black and blue machine. So up top here, about 5 or 6 cars in line. Now they spread out. Now Ivy shoots at the bottom. Now Ivy wants to make the pass. He's going to try and make it happen on the 69 car, and does. Ivy successfully now in the top 10. That's Larry Blair, the second behind him, the black and blue machine. And then behind them is John Miles. These cars all want to be in the top 10. You all want to earn those points because remember, this is a long season, but these races go by quick. So every point will matter. Now working our way through turns 3 and 4. There's a car king right up at the top again. We've seen him up and down the field. He's currently running up in P8 in that pizza machine, that bright green machine. We've seen him in real life NASCAR before with Kevin Harvick and other drivers. And that would have been a close heat at the line had that been the last lap, but it's not. Still 33 to go as Ivy to the inside of Akari King right. Up to P5. Here is Andrew Davis, that number 29 machine. We've seen him tonight throughout the night. He's now ripping the wall. He's now taking the Larson line. He wants to make a pass here on the drivers up ahead. It's got Samuel Reed behind him. It's got Blake Ward and Jonathan Dominics up ahead. And these drivers are about 2 seconds off the leader. Keep in mind, we're now about to start lap number 16. That's time bond. These cars last pitted on lap 39. It's 20 laps of running, minus maybe a caution lap here or there. These tanks in this league have 55% fuel capacity, so I suspect we will see a pit stop again. If we stay green, no one can make it to the end. The question is, when do they want to come in? You would think right now with 31 to go, they would be inside the fuel window. You can definitely make it from here or get really close on a tank of gas. The question is, do you want to come down early and risk that caution? That's what's on everyone's mind as we're watching Blake Ward get past on the inside. Coming this time by 30 laps to go into the last third, the last trimester of this race, if you will. Blake Ward's back and running at P6. Got Andrew Davis, P5 up ahead. Beyond them, Samuel Reed, P4. Then it's Dominic, Murphy, and Harrington leading this race. Harrington, last week's winner, would be the first repeat winner in the Average Joe's Sim Racing League, if in fact he does pull off this victory. Here's the battle up front. Here's Murphy. So that gap there, it's about 0.2 of a second up to the leader. Caution's out with 30 to go. This means that green flag pit stop is out of the question. There's Daniel Jackson, 18, up against the wall. We will wait and see what happens here. We'll wait and see if he is the cause of the caution, he's the victim. We'll wait and see the replays. We'll get a word from race control, and we'll find out exactly what happened. I would say probably he's up against the wall like that, probably more the victim than the culprit, but the replays will tell us the truth. We're going to take a moment here for the Green Flag TV replay machine to spool up and find the moment of caution. This time by, here we go. Let's watch and see what happens. It's going to be up front. We'll scroll back here. This is the 23 going down pit road, so a couple of replays here. Again, we'll re-spool the play machine here, and we'll see if we can find the moment of caution the second time by. But I do want to again thank you for hanging out here for tonight's race. The YouTube chat is a moving. Glad to see you guys out there showing your support for your favorite drivers. And lots going on. So Ace, Eloy, Scott, Case, and Shelby Guerrero, and more. Thank you so much for hanging out, for providing us with the content and the excitement in the YouTube chat. Here's what's going to happen to the 18 up top, riding there, and driver up front is going to get checked up on the wall. He's not going to have time to react. That's the 57, and in a car in the bottom, they're going to be 3 wide. Lots of contact made, and there it is. There's the 18 up on the wall. There's contact up ahead, and this is what brings the caution out. That 57 you saw, that was Austin Norris, by the way. Also of note, by the way, coming as we're now watching pit road, that got close. Samuel Reed, by the way, will move to the back of the field because he just got caught speeding on pit road. Is not happy about the penalty, but that is pure fact, unfortunately. Nothing anyone can do. And he will get the penalty. We'll move to the back of the line under caution. Also, the 57 is being deemed at fault for that caution right there. So the 57 car is being deemed, so he will also move to the back of the line. Conversation happening between race control and the 57, explaining the reason for the ruling. So that's what's happening here under caution. Do want to thank you once again for hanging out here live on Green Flag TV. And we're watching Dino Jackson go ahead and drive on around. All right, well, here we are, 27 to go. We'll likely go green with 25 to go as we're watching Dino Jackson catch up to the field. There we go. Lights on the pace car are off this time by, look at that, Dominic is now going to lead the field. He's going to have some new competition up here. We'll go through the top 5 in just a moment, but Dominic's in that Canadian car is going to be your new leader. So Terrence Murphy is going to run P2. Michael Harrington, P3. Blake Ward still in P4. Travis Hunt's up to P5, by the way. Corey Moore's in P6 at Car King Right 7. John Miles 8. Larry Blair 9. Andrew Davis rounds out your top 10. We're seeing some big gaps in the line on this pacing. You see them across right there as the camera goes by and the cars go by the camera. Some encouragement from the drivers to go and close up this gap and maybe see if we can get this thing a little tighter. Those big gaps often can lead to some restart mishaps here at Michigan. Here's Dominic's now, the control car, gets to the Geico restart zone, presses on the pedal, and green flag racing. Oh, trouble in the back. Big smoke in the back. Some slow cars, but everyone's still moving. I think we're going to stay green. No caution. Hold on. Nothing yet. We're still green. But there's definitely some frustrations in the back of the field about some of the tactics. Oh, there's a spin to the inside. That's Travis Hunt. I saw that. There's another car with him on the inside of the 40. I couldn't spot from the camera angle. There's some 40. Oh, it's a Car King right on the inside. Wow, this will be a moment right here. Let's wait till it happens. Caution is out, obviously, for this one. 26 to go. That was wild from the moment of start to the moment it finally wrecked. There was lots to look at there. The restart was under review, or at least under protest by some of the drivers due to the gaps in the field. Let's watch all of it happen here. So here's the 40 on the outside. There's King right on the inside. The 40 gets out of the corner. Does he snap it loose? Absolutely does. My goodness. Oh, boy. The 40 snaps it wildly loose, hits the inside, hits King right, and the caution is out. Watch it one more time. This will be on board from the 40. Watch it this way. From the back end, I think we'll get a better view of that back end snapping around. Oh! You saw this kind of pointed in a weird angle. That's not the way you want that race car to look there. You see the Splash and Go Graphics logo, you see the Tabit Rossi Esports logo, and more happening in this moment. Well, while we have a moment here under caution with 25 to go, let's go ahead and take a second. We're going to step back. We're going to go side by side. We're going to hit a commercial break. We'll be back for the finish here of this race, of the Michigan race for the Average Joe Sim Racing League, live on Green Flag TV.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com. Racing isn't easy.
Back with you live here on Green Flag TV. Welcome back to the conclusion coverage of this race. We're still 24 laps to go as we're under yellow here for contact due to the 40 getting together with the Car King right and the caution coming out. Well, a lot of talk happening in the voice chat. Drivers really trying to encourage that checking up of the field and making sure there's no gaps left on the restarts. If it gets better this time. Remember last time by, big trouble in the back of the field. Big smoke, lots of frustration, lots of anger, no caution from that. But we'll see if they can close some of those gaps here on this restart. Well, let's do this quickly. Let's go see if we can talk to the Kazoo Racing driver, the leader of this race. We're going to try and get a word in with Jonathan Dominic. Jonathan Dominic, welcome into the Green Flag TV broadcast booth. You're leading the race. How does that feel?
It's a little nerve-wracking right now. My tires aren't brand new, so hopefully I can keep speed off the green flag, and we'll see how it goes.
So with all the cautions here and the sort of stop-start nature of this race, is that harder for you to kind of stay focused in the race? Would you prefer it to stay green, or what's going through your head right now?
I would like one more caution in about 15 laps, and then I'm gonna, put some new tires on and hopefully stay up at the front, finish at least top 3.
Fair enough. Well, listen, well, good luck the rest of the race. We know we're about to go green, so we'll put you back with your team, and maybe we'll talk to you in victory lane.
Awesome, thank you.
You're very welcome. That is Jonathan Dominic. We'll put him back down with his Gazoo Racing team, and we are about to go green here once again at Michigan. Glad you're with us for the last 23 laps of this race. Derek Watson in the commentary booth, Christian Hill pushing the buttons behind the scenes. We're Green Flag Racing. Dominic's leads. Remember, he's got those old tires, a little more gingerly on that start. Still leads here. He's got Murphy, Harrington, Ward, and Corey Moore behind him in the top 5. Through turns 1 and 2, about 5 different lanes being used. Dominic's way to the inside. So is the 29 of Andrew Davis. Both snapped all in back. Look at that. That's Travis Hunt back there. That may have been King Wright again, I think I saw back there. I'm not sure on that one. I saw a green car flash by. But caution is out once again. Wow. Unfortunately, hey, Dominic said he wanted a caution with 15 more laps. He's going to get it about 1 more lap. So we'll see. He finally makes that decision to come down and take those tires. Well, I can say Russell Heaton Jr. has been deemed at fault for the race. For the wreck party, that is his 3rd wreck. So Russell Heaton has been parked for the rest of this race, unfortunately. So that is not good news for that driver. Let's wait and see what happens. There's the bump to the inside. They're 4 wide right here. And that's not the caution. We're going to say green right here. Watch the car on the bottom. That's going to be the car deemed at fault by race control. It's going to get loose on the bottom. Going to get down to the apron. The car is going to get loose. Back up the hill. Oh, the Hunt brothers car. I was wrong. It wasn't Travis Hunt. I apologize. That was Russell Heaton Jr. in that moment. Let's go on board. I want to see this ride from an onboard point of view. I want to see exactly what happens. Watch this here. This is a car at King Wright in that Hunt Brothers Pizza Machine. And he is going to just have no idea this is coming. Watch up ahead. There's the car on the bottom. He's going to move up, thinking he's going to avoid the wreck. And poof, right there, up and into the wall because of Kari King Wright. Look at all that damage. That's unfortunate for Kari King Wright. Yeesh. Well, let's talk to the driver himself. I'm sure frustrated. I'm sure annoyed. But Akari King Wright, big damage to the car. Probably had no idea that was coming, right?
No, I mean, I saw him get loose into the corner, and I thought he was going to keep it down there on the apron. That's why I went up towards the wall and didn't see him coming.
So have you used your fast repair yet this race?
No, but I couldn't get it back, so we got a hooker, and we're going to lose some laps here, but hopefully we can make that time back.
All right, well, hopefully you can make the time back. Hope the Hunt Brothers Pizza Machine makes it back on the track. Good luck the rest of the race, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Hopefully it'll be in victory lane.
Hopefully so. All right. That's Akari King Wright, and he said he's had no idea what was coming. Good news for him, has not used that fast repair. Remember, every driver in this league gets 1 fast repair per race, so they get that car fixed. The problem for him, could not drive it back to pit roads. He still has to sit through the towing time that iRacing will assess him before that fast repair can occur. So likely we'll go 1 or 2 laps down in this moment. Well, this time by, we're going to go green with 19 to go. It's going to be Dominic's, Harrington, Murphy, Ward, Moore, and others in the top 10. Down the bottom right of your screen, you'll see the positions gained throughout the night. You see some big movers. John Sheen's up 21. Joshua Holt's up 22. Brian Cook's up 20. Up now 19. Mike Presley's up there. Brad Gee's up there. So lots of drivers have had success. Unfortunately, on the flip side, some big names I can see throughout the field. Obviously, Josh Rebel's down 23. That's the biggest one of the night that I could find up and down the board. Tyler Smith's down 4. So unfortunately, the drivers wrecked back to the field are negative movers. With that damage now, Akari King Wright's now the biggest mover down the field. He's down 38 since he's sitting on pit road. Well, now 20 laps, less than 20 laps to go. 19 this by, now 18 this by as we go green. We'll see if we can make the run. Remember, from what we were told by Dominic's and others, this race is not over because there's, well, actually everyone pitted there on lap 63. So this race is not over, but the race on pit road is over. So unless something happens with a caution very late in this race, you have to imagine everyone has made their last pit stop of the night. Now on new tires, the different stop this time, a different start this time. Dominic's gets to lead the field. Green flag is out. A much better jump for Jonathan Dominic's. Oh, working the back straight. Oh, that's Michael Harrington way to the bottom. He saved that car. That's a great job by Harrington holding on to it. But boy, oh boy, that must have been a scary ride on board that Budweiser machine. Now he's going to get past. Tyler Smith's on the outside. Larry Blair's coming the inside. Other cars. Austin Guerrero in the 45 is going to try and make the pass. Harrington's losing a lot of time getting that car gathered back up. With that slide, Harrington went from a top 5 to at least P12, now P13, possibly P14. No damage to the car, just lost momentum. Maybe shook the driver's confidence, got him a little frazzled, little out of shape, and quickly falling down the field is Michael Harrington. And look up top, so lots of 2-3 wide racing up front. There's even 2-3 wide racing right here. There's the 20 car. There's Fred Chase trying to make the move. There's the 18 up ahead. So you see just how close this battle is. If we move up the field, you see more of the same. It's the same kind of racing all throughout the field here at Michigan. See Bridger Webb's now right behind. See that Tennessee Volunteers car right behind. Boy, I just feel like Harrington's just losing all the time in the world ever since that moment. Maybe he tapped the wall, maybe he got some aero damage on that car because it is just sinking like a rock. Meanwhile, let's take a look back at the front of the field. There has been a couple different dilemmas up front. Terrence Murphy is your new leader. There's now a caution out as well. So it's Murphy, it's Moore, it's Blake Ward, it's Tyler Smith, and others in your top 10. There's now a caution on the track. And we'll wait and see what we can find. There's a look on back from a couple of the cars. That's Dan Adams up against the wall. That's a hint of what we may find in our replay, that Green Bay Packers machine to smack the wall once again. On the Packers machine running at Michigan. A little ironic, the Packers and the Lions conference rivals. And not only running the Packers machine, look at that, running at Green Bay Packers driver's helmet is Dan Adams. So obviously showing off his fandom right here. Trying to get this car back around. See if he can get some repairs done under caution here. In just a moment, we'll spool up the replay machine. We'll take a look and see why Adams and others are slow here towards the back of the field. And we'll see who made contact, why they made contact, and what happened. Watch it right here. This is going to be Oh, right there, you saw it a second ago. Now, how does St. Adams get involved? There was a wreck up front. Oh my goodness, never checked up for the wreck. Watch this here. Right in the front of your screen right here is going to be the initial wreck just right there. And then it's Brian Cook getting in front of a car, and it just kept beating and banging and shoving and everything else. Fred Chase is involved. You see a couple other cars there involved. Now cars down the track, hits the 20. Boy, oh boy, with that Dana Adams machine, I mean, that car just came in late. Like, would have thought he would have had the time to get that car wound up and not make any contact, but into the wreck he went. Now 14 to go. More cars down pit road. This will all be for damage repairs for the most part. Cars towards the backfield. Jonathan Dominics, M. Brian Matthews, Josh Rebel, Jason Rush, and more back here. Austin Norris is back here. Bridger Webb you saw down pit road. But the front of the field remains mostly untouched. Terrence Murphy is up in the lead. '81 car is assigned the fault for the caution into blind penalty for the 81 of Brian Cook. And we will wait and see how the rest of this race plays out. Well, let's do this. Let's look down to the Queen City Racing Team to find our next interview. Let's go and take a moment here and let's speak with your race winner, or race leader, pardon me, Terrence Murphy. Terrence, you're at the front of the field. You're a driver that feels like it's been talked about a lot for your pace in qualifying, and now you're putting it together by leading the race.
Yeah, it's finally coming together. I started the race in third and dropped to 10th in like 3 laps, but it feels good to be out front. Definitely a good thing to control the restarts here because the second lane is not doing it for me. But we'll restart with 10 to go. There's still a lot that can happen.
So I have to ask you, and we talked to a couple of drivers earlier and asked the same question. This kind of start-stop nature where we maybe go for a lap or two and then we caution again. Does this kind of benefit you because it kind of helps you keep the lead? Does it frustrate you as a driver because it's kind of a start-stop mentality? What's in your head right now?
Well, the first couple there, I was short on fuel by about 3 laps, but this is giving me the opportunity to save. That first caution coming out as early as it did kind of screwed up my tire strategy, but so this kind of cleaned it up there. But I'd really just like to get going and be able to build up a little lead, because if I do start sliding, I don't want them right behind me.
Fair enough. Well, listen, we'll put you back down with your Queen City teammate. Good luck the rest of the race, and maybe we'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
All right, that is Terrence Murphy. He is your current race leader. He's got Blake Ward up next to him, and that'll be who will start on the outside. Corey Moore, Tyler Smith is back up front. Andrew Davis, your top 5. John Sheen, Larry Blair, Austin Guerrero, Michael Weaver, and Richard Wilson round out your top 10. Lights on the pace car are out once again. So we're going to go green this time by 11 laps to go. So we are quickly approaching the finale of this race. Only a couple of cautions left if that's what it takes. And maybe in a way what Terrence Murphy would love to see a couple of cautions come out in succession. He wraps up this win and can take that qualifying pace that he's been known for in the league and turn it into a race victory. If you're Blake Ward, if you're Corey Moore, Tyler Smith, or anyone else, you don't want that. You want a chance to make it pass. You want a chance to take the lead, and it could happen on this restart. Let's go ahead and tighten up. Let's go ahead and get a big deep breath. Let's go ahead and get settled in for the last 11 laps. Terrence Murphy's in control, touches the right restart zone for the Geico restart zone, and the green flag is out. Well, look at that. Terrence Murphy said he wanted to get a good jump, and he has. Wanted to get a good restart. That's what he's done. He's got a great jump. Blake Moore moves to the bottom. Tyler Smith up top. He's up in P3. Got that PBR machine of Corey Moore next to him. And oh, in the back, look at that. Couple of cars got really wide down below the racing line. Got it saved. We saw that University of Tennessee car back there. A couple others getting really wide back there. But all is good. We're still green, coming to 10 to go. Caution's out. Caution 10 to go. Caution is out once again. We'll look at the back of the field to find the caution. No sign of us up front. Samuel Reed saying he is the cause for the caution. Samuel Reed's already went ahead and towed it back to pit road, part of Highline Racing. Went ahead and said he apologized and he just lost control of his race car. So we'll see if he made any contact or if it's just simply himself involved. Watch the car on the bottom, that white and green Aqua machine. It's going to be the inside. Going to have a bunch of cars. Gets it loose, snaps it up the hill. Oh my God, snaps into the 23. And whoo, lots of cars get on by. Everyone else, nope, that right there, a little bit of contact. Wow. I'm back and hit the 23 again. That 23, of course, is Austin Oliver. Watch it again. Here's the 23. See that? Samuel Reed's just going to get it loose in the bottom. Overcorrects it up top. And then there's going to be some contact right there by the 23. He'll avoid everyone else. Boy, oh boy. Woo. Well, no surprise there. Race control confirms that caution will be on the 56 car. Not a surprise, but it's anything we saw in that moment. Well, let's continue our round of interviews as the night goes on and the night gets short. Let's talk to the driver who's run up front pretty much all night long. Let's go ahead and talk with Blake Ward, the driver of the number 82 machine. Blake, you're up front almost all night long. It's a pretty nice contrast compared to the first two races of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. We are having a great run today. Nice and clean up at the front. Got to say, I'm kind of dropping some positions here on the longer runs, but no, we're doing really good.
So you right now are getting the privilege, if you want to call it that, of starting on the outside every time with Terrence Murphy and the other leaders. Would you rather start outside P2? Would you rather maybe start in P3 to kind of predict the leader better? What's your mindset right now?
It's a little hard to see the leader from the outside, but I think I'm good up here. I had a pretty good restart last time, so I think it's working pretty good on the outside. So.
Right. Well, listen, we'll let you get back and focus in. Any teammates you want to shout out to? Any friends or family watching the broadcast you want to say hello to?
No, for real, shout out for the whole Gulf Coast Racing team. They've been teaching me so much about ovals, man, and I wouldn't be here without them.
Fair enough. Well, we'll put you back down with your Gulf Coast Racing teammates. Good luck the rest of the race.
Appreciate it, boss.
All right, that is Gulf Coast Racing. Teammate Blake Ward, a number 82 machine. And here we go. This time by, we'll restart now down in the single digits. And we'll see if we can get it good for the rest of the way. 2 green-white checkers if needed is the league rules. So we'll approach that bridge if or when we get there and see what happens. See, right now, Blake Ward's going to line up right now. He's currently to the outside of Tyler Smith. But Ward will pull up here in a moment and get to the outside of our leaders. And it's Terrence Murphy, our leader, of course. Blake Ward's in second, Smith in third, Moore's in second, Larry Blair is the second up in P5. Sheen, Davis, Guerrero, Weaver, and Dino Jackson round out your top 10. By the way, up no. We did talk to Akari King right earlier with that car getting towed back around due to the damage he needed to get fixed and due to the number of cautions. He is back in the lead lap, by the way, so only a couple cars not on the lead lap here. That's going to be Samuel Reed, Justin McCurdy, and then the cars no longer in the race, Russell Heaton and Kevin Burns. So only 4 cars not on the lead lap in this race. All right, here we go. Out of turns 3 and 4. Race control is encouraging these drivers, close those gaps. Let's not leave those gaps in the line, but the pace car is going to pull down, and it's going to be Terrence Murphy this time by leading it. He touches the restart zone, presses the pedal. Green flag is out with 7 laps to go. Massive jump by Terrence Murphy. He's got a nice side-by-side battle next to him. Tyler Smith and Blake Ward, they're going to hold up each other a little bit here. Now they get single file, and I got Corey Moore behind them. Now 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 cars in line at the top of the track. See a couple cars pulling out here. That's going to be Austin Guerrero trying to get to the bottom, cannot quite get there as he has got a little bit of a block right there. Got Andrew Davis up ahead of him. And here we go, crossing the line now, 6 to go at Michigan. It is side-by-side battle, this right here. This is Guerrero, and that is Michael Weaver in the 2 car to the inside of him. Guerrero's trying to find a way around, needs to get up top, needs to track out all the way, gain that momentum, gain that speed, and try and make the run down the back straight and drag race Michael Weaver. Weaver now pulls back in line, and now this front pack is now settled in for the most part, except for the 3 wide in the back. That's Daniel Jackson back there. He's racing with a couple of drivers, but here's Guerrero up front. All is calm. Tyler Smith has taken my P2. See up on your timing board, top left of your screen. Jackson's now got those cars single file, so now your front cars here are all single file. About the first 11, 12 cars, mostly single file here with 5 to go. This will not last that long at the front of the field. Here's a look now at the front of the field. Now you see it's going to be Terrence Murphy leading. This is the battle with Blake Ward and Corey Moore right here. This is for 3rd and 4th. Right up ahead of them is Tyler Smith, and there's Terrence Murphy. So this is the battle that's happening right now. This is Larry Blair almost up in the wall. There's the 29, and Andrew Davis almost got down the track, got loose. He can hold on to that car. Now Davis is going to fall back in the grips of John Sheen. Sheen's going to go to the top, going to try and see if he can make the pass. He's not going to dig to the bottom, and thought the best of it. 4 to go. Austin Guerrero, look at that. That's the autism awareness puzzle piece scheme we focused on earlier. Oh, there's a wreck. Oh, he hit it. And caution. Wow, that happened fast. That was Larry Blair involved for sure. I didn't catch the other car in the first look, but wait and see who is involved. Wow. Well, this will be our first attempt at an average Joe's Sim Racing League overtime run. Green, white checker 1 of 2 will occur after this caution period. Let's watch right here. This is going to be Larry Blair. That's going to be Andrew Davis in the 29. They're not going to make contact right there. They're going to make it right here. Yep, right there. Blair and Davis make contact. And that's going to be your moment of caution. See Guerrero swing way to the left. That's what you saw live. There's Weaver. 2 cars involved. Now, further back in the field, there was some more contact between the 38 and the 40. We'll look on that in a moment. First, again, here's the 29. Oof. That'll be a tough call about who moved up, who moved down for race control. Luckily, not my job. That's one of the closer calls tonight in this race. Oh, hello. Now, it's the 40 who made contact with the back of Blair. You see our camera getting a little wild there from the contact. The problem for the 40, what you don't see is I'm pretty sure he gets hit from behind. And then he gets put into the back of Larry Blair. Watch this from behind. They're coming any second now will be the 40. But I believe he's going to get... He said he got assistance. He was the one behind him. So I'm not sure. We'll take a look. See what may have happened, but Travis Hunt hit the 20 incident point limit. He is done for the night as Larry Blair takes a wild ride doing pirouettes on his hood. Wow. I told you, sometimes these wrecks can get wild at Michigan. They can explode, become bigger wrecks. And that's exactly what happened there in that moment with that wreck. Okay. Well, maybe I'll take a look there what happens to Hunt. Actually, I see what happens. I think he's going to get trapped in the top lane, unable to slow up by the time he sees the wreck, and there were 3 wide below him, so maybe we'll get a look at that later. There's your lucky dog going on by. That's a free pass car, getting their move around the track. That would be Corey Marshall, by the way, in the 36. Got the free pass. Well, here we are. 3 laps goes what the counter shows because we're going to have an overtime attempt. This will be 1 of 2. And race control has deemed that wreck to be a racing incident. No end of line penalty. Not that I'm sure that, well, at least we know Larry Blair can't serve the end of line penalty. It'll be a while before that car, if ever, gets back on track tonight. So we'll wait and see what the implications are. Here we are, double filed up here. Double file around. Remember, overtime rules. Let's go through them in case you're new to the league, new to oval racing. We're going to take the green flag. If we get all the way around to the white flag, all bets are off. Whatever happened that last lap happens, we'll race it all the way back around to the line. If the caution comes out before the white flag, we'll rack them up and we'll try it one more time. So let's run through your top 10. Murphy, Smith, Moore, Blake Ward's back in P4, John Sheen, Guerrero, Weaver, Wilson, Daniel Jackson, and Austin Norris in your top 10. Well, this will be an exciting run. Right now, Terrence Murphy said he was excited to lead, said he wanted to get out there and get a big lead in case something bad happened. He had some gap. Well, he's not going to have any gap here. It's going to be just tight racing. 2 laps around this track. Well, hopefully for the final time tonight, the pace car is down. It's in the hands of Terrence Murphy. He's got Tyler Smith on the outside. He's got Blake Ward right behind him. Green flag is out. And let's go racing one more time. What in the hell has happened back to the field? I'm not sure. Then they've got it cleaned up. They do. Look at that, Terrence Murphy with a big gap here. He's got Smith, he's got Moore, he's got Ward back in 2, 3, and 4. Now out of turns 1 and 2. Murphy is your leader. Big Hornet's nest up behind him. Smith's going to try and get the drafting run. Ward gets a little sketched out because of a car in the wall. He's all good. That's Jonathan Dominics, who was back below the white line. He's all good on the back straight. Coming out of 3 and 4. Remember, if we touch the white flag, then all bets are off. This race is official. We will ground one more time. Terrence Murphy is your leader. That 5 car comes around, takes the white flag. Final lap at Michigan. Here it is. This is the race. No matter what happens, Terrence Murphy into 5. Tyler Smith right behind him. Can Smith close the gap? He's got no drafting help behind him. Big old Hornet's nest action. Blake Ward, Corey Moore, Austin Guerrero back here in your top 5. John Sheen's back there, but here's the battle for the lead. Smith gets one more chance. Can he make a move? He's going to try and ride a higher line. Going to try and make the move up top. Hits the wall. That'll secure it. Terrence Smith will win at Michigan. Wreck on the last lap with Austin Norris and others will help determine some of the results of this race. We'll take a look at that later. But for now, congratulations, Terrence Murphy. See a little bit of congratulations bump there from Tyler Smith. He came over to the voice chat and said, hey, good job. Knew he'd pushed it too hard. He'd given the race away to Terrence Murphy. Well, this time by, Murphy comes around to celebrate. There's Michael Harrington, our last week's winner, kind of give a little bit of a congratulations. But this time by, Murphy gets to celebrate. He gets to go ahead and call himself a victor at Michigan. There it is. Stop and turn it around. Do some burnouts. We'll see. He goes and parks it down there in Victory Lane. One of the last tracks available in iRacing where you can do that. Where you can make that photo opportunity for yourself. It's actually right behind him down in the infield. So if he just turns that car 180 and pushes it around, he can eventually get down there once he's done smoking up those tires. Wild night in Michigan, lots of beating, lots of banging, lots of cautions, lots of frustration, but one bit of excitement for Terrence Murphy. Well, as we begin our post-race coverage of tonight's race, let's go ahead and step aside for one moment. And get our commercial break in. We'll come back. We'll do our podium interviews. We'll run through the results, and we'll preview next week's race.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Live back here in Michigan International Speedway as we begin our post-race coverage for the Average Joe's Sim Racing League. Welcome in once again, Derek Watson up in the booth with you. Well, let's go ahead and let's start by talking with your race winner. We talked to him earlier. He said he hoped all went well. Said he hoped he could get a big run in case something went bad. Well, nothing went bad. It all went good. Terrence Murphy, you are a winner at Michigan.
Finally, huh? How'd that Grippo's car look out there?
Oh, looks great from up here. How's it feel down there?
Oh, it feels good. I got a big bag of Grippo's barbecue right next to me, and anyone in the Cincinnati area, I suggest you grab one. It's a night to celebrate.
Yeah, it's a great night to celebrate, right? So a wild race, maybe a few more cautions than what people predicted. Maybe a little bit of frustration post-race from some of the drivers, but how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Once I got out front there, especially with the restarts getting kind of screwed up there, I knew that on a green-white checker, no one was going to get to me. So, feels good.
So I was looking at Tyler Smith, tried his best, maybe got in the wall. What could you see from your back mirror as Tyler Smith was coming?
Oh, well, as long as I could hold the low line, I knew he wasn't going to beat me on the exit. So I just tried to make sure that I hit my mark entering, and then I could drive it off and tighten him up as I exited. So all good.
All right. Well, when we look ahead next week, go to another big track, an auto club. How do you take your success tonight and translate that into the big track at Auto Club?
Well, I'm interested to see how we do the weather next week because the difference between the Monday practice race and today were pretty substantial. So it was a big change through the week trying to get like reacclimated to it. But I've had success at Auto Club. I'm not an A license yet, so I can't run cup cars yet. So I can't get any practice in other than test driving. But we'll go for back-to-back. It feels good.
Fair enough. Well, Terrence, great job tonight. Anyone you want to give a shout out to or say hello to?
Yep, big shout out to Jen and Alex watching at home. I forgot about you last time, but I'll make sure I get you this time. Love you, Jen. And all for you guys. I hope you got one last bag of Grippos that you're chowing down on right now. I just need a nice cold Miller Lite to go with it.
Fair enough. Well, Terrence, congratulations on the win, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, brother.
Thank you. That is Terrence Murphy, driver of that number 5 machine, comes in P1. Excited, got the sponsorship ready and everything in that interview. Well, let's go and take a look down to Highline Racing. Talk to the driver who finished in P2. We talked to him earlier as well. Let's go and welcome back in Tyler Smith. Tyler, you tried everything in the last lap to make it work, and unfortunately just came up a little bit short.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. Good win by the 5. I will say I think the caution saved him. That last caution with what I think it was 4 or 5 to go. I ran 3 straight laps faster than him, and I was at his bumper entering turn 3, and the caution came out. And then he got a good jump on the restart, and I just couldn't get to him. Full scented on the end and got a little bit of the wall, but I had a big enough gap to try.
Well,
All in all,
sorry.
oh, you're good.
I was going to say, in some ways, obviously, this race is a big contrast for you. I think we talked, earlier in the season, and you were upset about, the incident limits and being disqualified last week. To go from where you were last week to a P2 tonight, that can only be deemed as a success.
Oh, absolutely. I was a little annoyed. I understand. I don't disagree with the point limit. The DQ last week was a little rough. Getting spun on what was it, like lap 8 of this race, getting spun and sent to the back. Brought back a little bit of memories from last week. I thought I'd have a bit of trouble getting through the field, but made it all the way back to the front. No X's, no incidents. Stayed pretty clean. And I think if this race was maybe 10, 15 laps longer and didn't have as many cautions at the end, I think I could have came out a spot higher.
All right. Well, you had success tonight. You got P2 at Michigan. Next week, we go to another big track, an auto club. So how do you take your success tonight and translate that into the West Coast track?
So I guess just be fast. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even own auto clubs, so never ran a lap there. Don't know anything about it, so I just plan to be fast, that's all.
Fair enough. Well, listen, great job. Anyone you want to give a shout out to or say hello to tonight?
Shout out to my race team. They're pretty chill. They keep the mood nice and chill during the race. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to you for broadcasting. It's pretty fun. There's a couple hiccups in the league, but it's all in all, it's pretty good, pretty fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Congrats tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that is Tyler Smith. He is part of Highline Race. And now we go and talk to P3. That will be Blake Ward, the driver number 82 machine. Well, we're going to welcome him back into the booth. Well, Blake, not the victory maybe you thought you had in your sights, but an amazing P3 run here at Michigan. That must feel good.
That is a podium on home soil. We always take those.
That's right. Being the Michigan native yourself must be a little special doing that, right?
Oh, for sure. And I even remember we did a recruitment race beforehand, and I could not figure out the track at all. Like, I'd go low and the high side would pass me. I'd go high and the low side pass me. So this is a big testament to how far I've come in oval racing, for sure.
Well, you were in P3 over that last restart. Just felt like you can never really catch up. Do you think that anything could have helped you, or do you think you were just destined for the P3 run tonight?
Yeah, I mean, no, the guys in front of me were fast on the green flag when I forget who it was. I think it was the number 1 car got up into second place, and they just kind of took off. So I knew I shouldn't really fight them even on the last lap, because like it wasn't really going to happen, and they just pulled away anyway. But I don't care. I got my P3.
Fair enough. Well, listen, well, great job tonight. We'll see you next week at Auto Club, and have a good evening.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, man.
All right, that is Blake Ward. He finishes P3. And that rounds out our podium interviews for the evening. Well, now let's go and take a moment and run through our unofficial race results and see how everyone lined up here this evening at the finish of Michigan. Obviously, your winner, Terrence Murphy, that's the easy one. We've talked about that. We talked about P2. That's Tyler Smith. We talked about Blake Ward. That's your top 3. Those are the easy ones. We'll wait for the race results graphic to pop up on the screen. There it is. And it's going to be Corey Moore in P4, but John Sheen in P5. Austin Guerrero, Michael Harrington, Richard Wilson, Michael Weaver, and Doug Ivey round out your top 10. Moving back into P11 is going to be Daniel Jackson with a Kari King Wright in 12th, Fred Chase in 13th, and then M. Brian Matthew in 14th with Josh Revel in P15. Austin Norris, Blake Hewlett, Jonathan Dominics, Mike Presley, and Stephen Blevin round out your top 20. 21st is Bridger Webb with Mike Straminsky in P22. Todd Ingersoll Jr. finishes back in P23 after a brief runs up top tonight. Art Milnes in 24th with Jason Rushing back in P25. John Milnes, Dan Adams, Brian Cook, Ron Milan, and Brad Gee round out your top 30. All these cars still in the lead lap. 31st, Andrew Davis, Corey Marshall's 32nd, Diego Borrell's in 33rd, Justin Day is back in 34th. Then Roger Thomas, your first car 1 lap down, as is Austin Oliver, Joshua Holt, and then more than that, Larry Blair, Travis Hunt, Justin McCurdy, all more than 5 laps down. Then Sam Reed, Kevin Burns, and Russell Keaton Jr. round out your 43 car field. That's a look top to bottom at tonight's unofficial race results. Well, final thoughts tonight. A little bit of beating, maybe a few more cautions the admins were hoping for, but overall a successful run for Terrence Murphy. We hinted at it though. Next week we go from one 2-mile track to another 2-mile track. Next week we go coast to coast. We go from Michigan to Auto Club. the Epic Trading Floor 180 at Auto Club 1 week from tonight, June 12th, 8 p.m. Eastern, here on Green Flag TV. Well, if you missed any part of tonight's race, you can catch this race and every race from the Average Joe's Sim Racing League here on the Green Flag TV YouTube channel. For Christian Hill, pushing the buttons down in the production truck, I am Derek Watson. I want to say thank you for watching. Have a great evening, and congratulations to Terrence Murphy on the race victory.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.